Have you ever wondered why you wake up around 3 a.m., just when the night feels its deepest and the world is most silent? Could your body's early morning awakenings be a hidden message about your deeper health, not just an accident of aging? What if waking up at 3 a.m. wasn't a flaw to fix, but a secret opportunity to understand your body and mind more intimately than ever before? Have you ever found yourself lying awake at 3 o'clock a.m., staring into the darkness, wondering why sleep seems to slip away just when you need it most? You're not alone, and you're not imagining things either. This isn't just a quirky part of getting older or an isolated issue. It's a phenomenon deeply rooted in how your body and mind evolve with time. In this video, we're diving into 5 profound reasons why older adults frequently wake up during these pre-dawn hours, and what those early awakenings might be whispering about your overall health, emotional well-being, and life's natural rhythms. Each reason unveils deeper insights into how aging subtly reshapes the way we sleep, and why understanding these changes can transform your frustration into empowerment. We won't just skim the surface. We'll explore the biological, psychological, and lifestyle forces working behind the scenes, many of which remain invisible until they are thoughtfully uncovered. From hormonal shifts and circadian changes to emotional undercurrents and physical discomforts, you'll gain a clearer, kinder understanding of what's truly happening when you wake at 3 a.m. If you've ever asked yourself, why now, or felt a quiet frustration during these nighttime awakenings, you're in the right place. Stay with us until the end, because what you'll discover may not only improve your sleep, but also deepen your appreciation for the remarkable journey your body and soul are traveling. 1. Reduced melatonin production. One of the most significant and often overlooked reasons older adults tend to wake up around 3 o'clock a.m. is the natural decline in melatonin production that accompanies aging. Melatonin, often referred to as the sleep hormone, plays a pivotal role in regulating your internal clock, known scientifically as the circadian rhythm. It orchestrates the delicate dance between sleep and wakefulness, ensuring that your body rests when it needs to and awakens when it's ready. In your younger years, your body produced robust and consistent levels of melatonin every night, helping you drift into a deep, restorative sleep and maintain it for long, uninterrupted hours. But as the decades pass, the body's ability to generate melatonin gradually diminishes. This slow but steady decline means that even if you fall asleep easily at night, your melatonin levels may drop too low to sustain sleep in the early morning hours, especially between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock a.m. You may find yourself awakening in the stillness of the night, not because of a disturbing dream, an external noise, or a troubling thought, but simply because your brain, sensing a lack of melatonin, gently nudges you back toward wakefulness. It's not a failure or a flaw, it's a natural transition, a quiet shift in your body's internal chemistry. Moreover, environmental factors can magnify this effect. As you age, your body becomes increasingly sensitive to even small sources of light. A street lamp peeking through the curtains, the faint glow of an alarm clock, or a sliver of light from under a door. These seemingly minor disturbances can suppress what little melatonin your body is still producing, making it even harder to maintain sleep during those vulnerable early hours. Consider the story of Harold, a vibrant 72-year-old who had always prided himself on being a deep sleeper. In recent years, however, he found himself waking up at 3:15 a.m., feeling strangely alert but not anxious. Once he learned about the connection between melatonin and aging, Harold took simple but impactful steps. He invested in blackout curtains, powered down electronic devices an hour before bedtime, and embraced an evening ritual of walking under the soft twilight. These small adjustments helped reinforce his natural circadian rhythm, signaling to his body that it was still time for rest. Understanding the role of melatonin isn't just about improving sleep. It's about fostering compassion toward your body's changing needs. By embracing this biological reality, you can shift from frustration to empowerment, making mindful adjustments that respect the beautiful, evolving journey of aging. 2. Shifted sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another profound reason older adults often find themselves waking around 3 a.m. lies within the subtle but powerful shift of the body's internal clock, a phenomenon known as the advanced sleep phase. As we age, the circadian rhythms that once synchronized effortlessly with the natural cycles of day and night begin to shift forward, nudging our sleep patterns into new, earlier territory. You may notice yourself feeling drowsy much earlier in the evening, perhaps during a late-night movie or a favorite show you once enjoyed without issue. Simultaneously, you might find yourself waking earlier and earlier, often before the sun rises, even without the help of an alarm clock. This change isn't merely a lifestyle adjustment. It's deeply rooted in your biology, shaped by decades of subtle transformations in how your brain and body respond to light, activity, and rest. In youth and middle age, the body's internal rhythms often favor a later bedtime and a more leisurely wake-up, aligning beautifully with the demands of work and social life. However, as the years pass, the timing mechanism gently accelerates, encouraging an earlier onset of sleep and, consequently, an earlier awakening, often around that frustrating 3 a.m. mark. By that hour, your body may have completed a full sleep cycle, leaving you feeling surprisingly alert while the world around you still slumbers. This isn't a malfunction or an indication that something is wrong. Think of it as your body's internal clock ticking forward, season after season, recalibrating itself to new rhythms. It's a natural progression of life, even if it sometimes clashes with your modern environment or expectations. There's also an often overlooked emotional and social component to this shift. As life slows down, retirement, quieter households, fewer external engagements, your system receives fewer cues that once delayed your bedtime. Without the noise, movement, and structure of earlier years, your body leans into its own quieter, earlier cadence. Less stimulation throughout the evening nudges your brain toward an earlier shutdown, whether or not you consciously desire it. Take Charles, for instance, a lively 68-year-old retiree. After decades of structured workdays, he now enjoys leisurely dinners at 5:30 p.m., a bit of television, and a relaxed bedtime around 9 p.m. By 3 a.m., his body naturally signals that it's had enough rest. Initially frustrated, Charles realized, through learning about advanced sleep phase, that he wasn't broken. He was simply living according to a new biological rhythm. By intentionally staying active a little longer in the evenings, reading, walking, or enjoying a lighthearted conversation, he managed to gently shift his sleep window closer to morning, finding a healthier balance without battling his body. Understanding this change can be deeply liberating. Instead of resisting or blaming yourself for bad sleep, you can recognize it as part of your evolving journey, a gentle reminder that your body's wisdom is quietly guiding you toward new patterns of living and resting with grace. 3. Physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Another major, yet often underappreciated reason older adults find themselves wide awake at 3 o'clock a.m. is the body's quiet response to physical discomfort or emerging health challenges. Unlike the dramatic pains or illnesses that demand immediate attention, these subtle disruptions operate in the background, gently tugging you out of your restful state, often without obvious warning. As we age, the likelihood of encountering chronic health conditions naturally increases. Issues such as arthritis, gastrointestinal disturbances like acid reflux, or even mild circulatory changes become more common, and while they may seem manageable during the day, they often whisper louder during the stillness of the night. Lying in one position for several uninterrupted hours can cause pressure to build in sensitive joints, muscles to cramp, or internal discomfort to rise quietly until it crosses the threshold of sleep. These disturbances rarely feel like emergencies. Instead, they manifest as small nudges, a throbbing knee, an aching back, a full bladder that demands attention. At 3 o'clock a.m., when external distractions are minimal and the mind is quieter, the body's internal signals become much harder to ignore. Even something seemingly minor, like dry mouth, nighttime chills, or a slight imbalance in blood sugar, can be enough to awaken you. And once awake, returning to the deep, restorative stages of sleep becomes a far greater challenge. Urinary urgency is particularly common among older adults, especially men dealing with prostate changes. A bladder that once held through the night now sends early, insistent signals, pulling you from sleep at the most vulnerable hour. And the disruption doesn't end with a quick trip to the bathroom. Simply rising, moving, and exposing yourself to light, however briefly, can shift your body into a lighter state of wakefulness, making it difficult to ease back into slumber. Adding to this complexity, medications, so essential to managing various health conditions, can also play a silent role. Many prescriptions for blood pressure, heart conditions, or pain management come with side effects such as increased thirst, frequent urination, or heightened sensitivity to noise and temperature. These side effects may go unnoticed during the day, but can subtly sabotage nighttime rest. Consider the experience of Ellen Ainer, a spirited 76-year-old woman. For months, she puzzled over why she consistently woke at 3:30 a.m. She blamed stress, diet, even bad dreams, until a thoughtful conversation with her doctor revealed the real culprit. Her evening medication was altering her hydration levels and contributing to nighttime awakenings. By adjusting the timing of her dosage and incorporating a few gentle lifestyle changes, she was able to reclaim deeper, more continuous sleep, and more importantly, peace of mind. The key takeaway here is profound yet simple. Waking due to physical discomfort is not a betrayal by your body. It's a quiet, persistent act of self-preservation. These early wake-ups are signals, offering you a chance to tune in, address underlying needs, and honor the changing language of your physical self. Instead of viewing them as intrusions, you can embrace them as invitations to nurture your evolving well-being with greater compassion and wisdom. 4. Lifestyle habits that shift your sleep rhythm. Beyond the natural biological changes that come with aging, one of the most influential, yet often underestimated factors behind early morning awakenings lies in the accumulation of daily lifestyle habits. Over months and years, these small, seemingly harmless routines can gradually and subtly shift your internal clock, leading your body to believe that 3 o'clock a.m. is an appropriate time to wake up, even when you crave more rest. As life evolves, many older adults find themselves transitioning into a quieter, less structured daily rhythm. Retirement, changes in family dynamics, or simply a slowing of life's pace can lead to earlier dinners, earlier evenings, and a reduction in daily physical activity. Without the rigid demands of work schedules, social engagements, or bustling errands, there are fewer external time anchors to keep your internal clock synchronized with traditional day-night cycles. You might begin eating dinner at 5 p.m. instead of 7, and after a quiet evening of light television or reading, find yourself dozing off earlier, sometimes even before 9 p.m. Though it feels natural and even comforting, this shift in evening behavior signals to your brain that bedtime has arrived. Consequently, your body completes its full sleep cycle much earlier than you intend, causing you to wake naturally in the early morning hours when the world outside remains deep in slumber. Moreover, a decrease in stimulating daytime activities, like walking, socializing, or mental engagement, can leave your body under-challenged. When the brain and body do not receive enough stimulation during the day, sleep pressure, the biological drive that builds up and makes you feel sleepy at night, weakens. As a result, sleep may become lighter, more fragmented, and more easily disrupted by minor stimuli. Another often overlooked contributor is the role of light exposure. Bright light during the day helps set a strong circadian rhythm, reinforcing your body's understanding of when it's time to be awake and when it's time to sleep. As older adults spend more time indoors or in dim environments, the lack of bright light exposure during the day and excessive artificial light exposure in the evening from screens or lamps can confuse the body's internal clock. This subtle confusion often advances your sleep phase, making you drowsy earlier and contributing to waking earlier. Eating patterns also weave into this delicate system. While earlier dinners are common and generally healthy, going to bed with an empty stomach can cause mild dips in blood sugar levels overnight. These dips may trigger the brain to prompt wakefulness, not through feelings of hunger, but through subtle internal alerts that fragment sleep. Similarly, caffeine consumed even in the early afternoon, once easily processed by a younger metabolism, now lingers longer in the system, lightly destabilizing deep sleep cycles without you even realizing it. Let's look at Walter's journey, an active and spirited 74-year-old who entered retirement with excitement. Gradually, his routine became softer: an early supper, quiet evenings with minimal stimulation, and an ever earlier bedtime. Over time, Walter found himself consistently waking around 3 a.m., wondering why his sleep seemed shorter despite his best efforts to rest. Recognizing that his entire rhythm had shifted, Walter introduced small but meaningful changes. He scheduled an afternoon walk, introduced brighter lighting in the evenings, delayed his bedtime slightly with engaging activities like puzzles or light conversation, and avoided heavy napping after dinner. These small but powerful lifestyle adjustments helped reset his internal clock, restoring a more natural alignment between his desired sleep and wake times. Rather than fighting against his body's signals, Walter worked with them, thoughtfully nudging his routine back toward balance. The truth is, our bodies crave rhythm. Predictable patterns of activity, light, food, and rest help regulate the intricate biological processes that support restful sleep. When those patterns fade or shift unnoticed, our internal timekeepers lose their cues, leading to earlier and lighter sleep. Fortunately, once you become aware of how much your daily habits influence your internal clock, you can make gentle, consistent changes that encourage a deeper, more restorative sleep, and awaken not with frustration, but with a quiet sense of harmony between your body, your mind, and the rhythm of life itself. 5. Emotional and psychological restlessness. Sometimes the reason you find yourself awake at 3 a.m. has far less to do with the body, and far more to do with the quiet stirrings of the mind and heart. As life slows and the external demands that once filled your days diminish, a deeper emotional current often begins to surface during the stillness of the night. In the fast pace of earlier decades, the mind rarely had room to fully process the vast experiences of living, the relationships nurtured and lost, the dreams pursued or set aside, the joys celebrated, and the regrets quietly tucked away. When you were younger, the noise and busyness of daily life, work, family, obligations, acted like a barrier, keeping emotional reflections at bay. But in the silent hours before dawn, with no distractions and only the soft pulse of your own thoughts for company, those long-shelved memories and feelings can rise to the surface. This restlessness isn't the acute, high-pitched anxiety of youth. It is softer, subtler, like a whisper or a distant echo. You might awaken with a vague sense of longing, a tender ache for conversations never had, opportunities missed, or loved ones who are now only memories. Your mind may drift without prompting into tender recollections, unresolved questions, or unspoken hopes that still linger quietly within you. Loneliness often intertwines with this emotional awakening, not necessarily as overwhelming sadness, but as a gentle yearning for deeper connection, a wish to be seen, heard, and remembered. Even if your days are full of activity, the night brings an unmistakable kind of stillness that magnifies the emotional spaces left behind by time. Consider Gloria, a bright and resilient 80-year-old woman who spent her days tending her garden, connecting with grandchildren, and enjoying her favorite TV shows. Outwardly, her life seemed full, but each night, often around 3 a.m., she would awaken, not because of discomfort or noise, but because her mind wandered back to tender memories of her late husband and unspoken hopes from long ago. Initially, Gloria feared something was wrong with her sleep, but with time, she realized these awakenings were not a flaw. They were her heart's quiet invitations to honor her lived experience. To support her emotional rest, Gloria began keeping a small journal by her bedside. Whenever she awoke, she would gently jot down her thoughts. Nothing elaborate, just a few heartfelt words. She also incorporated simple nighttime rituals, soft music, heartfelt prayers, writing a short note to a friend. These practices allowed her emotions to breathe, giving her mind and heart the gentle attention they craved, and ultimately helping her return to sleep with a deeper sense of peace. The human heart does not operate on a strict timetable. It stirs when it needs to stir. It remembers when it needs to remember. And sometimes, it asks for your company at 3 a.m. when the world is quiet enough to listen. Rather than treating these moments as intrusions or problems to be solved, you can embrace them as sacred invitations to honor your past, acknowledge your feelings, and offer grace to the rich and complex tapestry of your life. In doing so, you may find not only more restful sleep, but also a richer, fuller connection to yourself, one that honors every chapter of your story, even in the softest, darkest hours before dawn. As we reach the end of this exploration, I invite you to pause for a moment and truly reflect on what you've uncovered. Each of the 5 reasons we've discussed, whether rooted in shifting hormones, altered sleep cycles, physical discomfort, evolving lifestyle patterns, or emotional restlessness, offers not a sign of decline, but rather a profound testament to the intricate, ongoing dialogue between your body, mind, and soul. Waking up at 3 o'clock a.m. does not mean you are broken, or that something within you has failed. On the contrary, it reveals just how sensitive, attuned, and adaptive your system remains, even after decades of change. Each nighttime awakening is not merely an inconvenience to be resented, but can be viewed as a quiet messenger, offering you insights into the deeper rhythms of your existence. Perhaps your body is signaling a need for gentler care as it adapts to new biological realities. Maybe your heart is asking for a moment of tenderness, to honor memories long held or feelings long buried. Or maybe your life's pace has shifted so profoundly that your internal rhythms are simply adjusting to match the new landscape of your days. The beauty of understanding these patterns is that it empowers you to respond not with frustration, but with wisdom. You can make small, compassionate adjustments, tweaking your evening routines, attending to physical needs with greater mindfulness, or embracing emotional reflections with kindness rather than resistance. These tiny acts of self-awareness accumulate, creating a foundation for deeper rest, improved well-being, and a more harmonious relationship with the natural changes aging brings. Rather than seeing 3 o'clock a.m. awakenings as nuisances to be conquered, imagine them as moments of profound communication between your body and spirit. These quiet hours, often viewed with annoyance or dread, can become sacred invitations to listen more closely, to love yourself more deeply, and to honor the intricate beauty of the life you've lived. You are not alone in this experience. Across the world, countless others awaken in the same soft hours, carrying with them the same longings, reflections, and adjustments. But with understanding comes a rare kind of strength, the strength to meet your body with grace, your emotions with compassion, and your nights with a peaceful acceptance that allows for true healing. If you recognized yourself in any part of today's journey, know this: you are not merely aging, you are evolving, growing richer and wiser with each breath, each memory, each early morning awakening. And in that evolution lies an extraordinary opportunity to rest more intentionally, to live more consciously, and to greet each new day, not with frustration, but with a deeper understanding, a quieter heart, and a profound sense of peace. Thank you for joining us today. If something resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences, your reflections, and your wisdom may not only bring healing to yourself, but also light the path for someone else navigating this beautiful, challenging, and sacred stage of life. If you found value here, we would love for you to like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support fuels our ability to create more heartfelt content designed not just to inform, but to honor the journey you are on. Until next time, may you rest deeply, wake gently, and live each day with courage and grace.